Hi, it's Chaba here from Game of Conversions, and welcome to the 12th day of the Proven Sales Letter Breakdown challenge that I'm doing for 90 days. And I'm really excited for this one because this sales letter is the sales letter that started the direct response behemoth Boardroom, now also called Bottom Line. And this was written by the legendary Eugene Schwartz, also called Gene Schwartz, about 50 years ago. Think about it, 50-year-old sales letter, yet as we go through it, you're going to see that your jaw is going to drop. It's that good. It's that awesome. I have nerdgasms right now, okay? So even though it was written in 1972 by Gene Schwartz, and by the way, this was written in like half an hour while his wife was getting ready to a party. But still, this started a huge direct response company that today is like a multiple nine-figure company. It does several hundreds of millions of dollars in sales, all from this letter. And it's just 4 pages. He wrote it in 30 minutes approximately after interviewing the founder of the company, of course. And Eugene Schwartz was so OG that in the 60s, think about it, in 1960 something, he got paid $54,000 for 4 hours of his work by Rodale Press. Think about it. 1960s money, $54,000 for 4 hours. So that's like $13,000 hourly in 1960. So it's like $100,000 right now or something. It's crazy. It's crazy. So it's no wonder Eugene Schwartz has like the copywriting Bible, Breakthrough Advertising, which is like a $125 book. So it's one of the most expensive books that I ever saw. But it's definitely something that can basically make you a high-level copywriter almost overnight. It's not easy to read it, of course, but the lessons inside and all the things that Eugene Schwartz came up with, it's just bonkers. So let's look at the promotion itself. It was 4 pages, so it's not the length or the complexity, but it's how well you can crawl under the skin of your target audience and convert them into customers. So the other thing I want to mention before we dive into it, it's actually a mini story of how this sales letter was born, because Boardroom was founded by a gentleman called Martin Edelston. He was also called Marty Edelston. And the thing is that when Marty got started, business wasn't doing so well, actually. And he was down to his last $3,500. And he knew that something had to be done to really make a difference here. And he realized early on that copywriters, direct response copywriters, are very, very powerful for any company for launching a new product. And he didn't really want to hire an advertising agency, because in those days, as right now in many cases, most ad agencies come up with creative copy and they want to sound cute and they're after winning awards or something. But no, he realized that good copywriting is all about making the sale, nothing else. And he knew that Gene Schwartz was one of the best copywriters at that time. For such a short ad, actually, Gene's fee was $2,500, which in today's money, it would be around like $15,000 or something, which is still pretty good money for like a 4-page ad, which you can write in 30 minutes or something. Think about it. It's pretty good money. Like most copywriters don't even ask $15,000 for a full-blown long sales letter or like a 40-minute VSL script. So this is pretty something. And, Marty knew that it's definitely worth it to spend this type of money. And the story became famous, even more famous, because this is a great case of how interviewing the product owner for a copywriting project is so super important to get that data, how the customers, what are their pains, fears, hopes, and dreams, what the visionary thinks about his own product itself. It's super important. And Gene just basically interviewed Marty Edelston for a few hours, and Marty just spilled everything. I mean, he came up with the idea, he assembled the pieces, and there's a nice little quote here that Gene actually said. He said, my wife takes a long time to make up. While she did that, I wrote the ad. I put the ad from stem to stem. I couldn't give it to him the same night because he would think it was worth nothing. So I then put it away for 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks I sent it to him. So there's a little thing that's missing here, but the thing is that Marty was interviewed by Gene Schwartz, and basically Gene just reused all the things that Marty said. That's it. I mean, and he knew how to organize everything into a very, very persuasive structure, but he just used the info that Marty gave him, and that was the ad. And that's why he was able to write it in like 30 minutes, but he didn't give the ad to Marty immediately, because then, you know, and normally, I mean, I also had this with clients. You know, sometimes if I did a project too quickly, they were like, so did you like put enough work in it or something? And it's not about like how much work you actually put in it, but how good of a process you have, and how you know where to put which stuff. So yeah, and after 2 weeks, he gave the ad to Marty, and it became a huge success. So after all this warm-up story, if you're still here, good for you. You learned a very valuable lesson about direct response copywriting. But let's dive into the ad itself. So it begins with now, which is instant gratification, and it kind of presupposes that finally, it is possible to read 300 business magazines in 30 minutes. So this is a bold, big promise, but it's very specific, and it's something that gets people attention, which I really like. And Gene was also a master of using very visual words, very emotional, evocative words, so like guts and stuff like that. And the main promise that we're doing here is that what this whole product is about, it's actually a subscription product. So bi-weekly, you get basically a summary of the most important things happening in various industries, and reported on by various publications. And instead of like reading through everything yourself, you just get the most important summaries handpicked for you. So this is I think a very, very strong proposition for the target audience for this ad, which was busy executives, because it taps into one of their existing desires. And this was something that Gene Schwartz always talked about, one of his big revelations, apart from the stages of awareness. By the way, I have a great video about stages of awareness. If you're not familiar with it, I'm gonna leave a link below this video with the link to that video. Check it out, because you can definitely learn a lot from that as well for your existing funnels and copy projects and all that stuff. But anyway, tapping into the existing mass desire of your target audience was one of Gene Schwartz's biggest and best ideas, actually, and this ad does just that. So it taps into the desire of a busy executive who doesn't have time to do anything basically, and they just want know-how. They want a strategic overview of the entire economy, basically, of law, of I don't know, shipping, I don't know, industry and accounting and business strategy and finance and all these things. He just wants like kind of like a consulting service, but without paying huge consulting fees for this. And this boardroom report was actually something that kind of fit the job for that. So it's really powerful. And it's a mass desire to be an insider. Everybody wants to be an insider, but especially these types of executives, in my opinion, because they just want to, you know, get a hands up on their competition. And you know what? This offer, as I was reading it and hand copying it, I realized that if I was living in that time, I would definitely by it, because it just satisfies this need to be an insider, to know everything about everything. And keep in mind, this was before the day of the internet. This was before Google. So people had no way to like quickly do a Google search and find out everything about anything they want. Many people, you know, they were reading specialized publications, but that's it. But that took a lot of time. And this one basically like took the best from everything and just condensed it. And this is really, really powerful and really valuable to the right person. So all in all, after the headline, we also get a special free invitation. So again, this just raises curiosity and desire. Like, so what's this whole thing is about? We can also assume that the reader is probably at a solution-aware stage, at least, because this is direct offer. It even starts with like introducing boardroom reports. And then we qualify people who this is for the generalist, the executive who wants to know every important new development that specialists know from every vital area. He wants to know them all in minutes, not hours. So it's for either busy executives or people who want a shortcut, actually, who are generalists who want to keep a grasp on how the world works, but they also want the insider info as well. And, you know, I can get all this for free, so what this whole thing is about. So the big promise, I think, here is that you'll be an insider. You'll be a powerful person. So check this out. Like, Boardroom takes you where the destiny-shaping big decisions are made, where top specialists determine the fate of whole industries, like this. And then we get an example, for example, a great case study that dimensionalizes the whole promise. It acts as proof, and it also shows how, you know, you as the reader narrowly missed a big catastrophe. You missed it now, but maybe next time you won't be so lucky. But if you get this report, you will definitely be lucky because you'll be in the know of what's happening. And then, you know, Gene goes on to agitate the pain a little bit. He basically paints a problem here and then agitates it, like how, you know, what all the bad things that can happen if you don't know about insider info. And then continues by piling on even more benefits, basically. So at this point, people are thinking, oh, okay, so that it would be nice to know, you know, like how insider industries are working. And now you can get, you know, insider access to over 30 such specialist fields. And that's like, wow, so I can get insider access to 30 specialist fields. Like if I had, like, I don't know, relatives in those special departments. That sounds interesting. Then, you know, Eugene goes on to actually describe another case study, which also involves a little bit of conspiracy. And this never hurts. People love conspiracies. And very importantly, it also validates their already held beliefs. So most people believe that, you know, Wall Street or Big Pharma or some other organization or something wants to basically control them and keeps info away from them and keeps them in the dark, you know, and they don't want them to succeed, which may or may not be the case, but just validating their already held beliefs by saying something like, in just such a way, the future of your business and your career is being decided by specialists operating behind tightly closed doors. So again, it's like, do you want control in your life? Well, you better get this, because otherwise somebody else is going to make the decision for you and you're going to be left to, I don't know, get the scraps, and that's it. So then Gene goes on to describe all the things that are important for like a busy executive or people who are interested in many things like insurance, construction, labor, law, management, finance, economics, everything. And this is a great example of show, don't tell, you know, how people actually make an impact in all these specialties by passing new laws, creating new sales ideas, finding new tax loopholes, and all that stuff. Then Gene goes on to highlight how this is a collection of secrets, by the way. And again, everybody loves secrets. Russell Brunson is all about secrets, for example. And then they carefully report these new breakthroughs to their peers, partially for prestige and money, partially from professional ethics in specialist publications. Everything makes sense, by the way, in this copy. I love that. And we have many power words. We have a very interesting proposition. And it's just a no-brainer, even at this point, to me. I don't know, maybe this offer wouldn't be so effective to other people, but as I was reading it, I was like, shut up and take my money, even at this point. So remember, back in those days, there was no Google, computers were still seen as mysterious, and Gene kind of goes into explain how, kind of like the unique mechanism of the solution. So how this very unique thing like the boardroom report actually works. So it's like having a giant computer that reads 3,000 different sources every month and then compiles the super quintessential thoughts and breakthroughs for you. I really like the word breakthrough. According to Gary Bencivenga, this is one of the best words to use in advertising. It's not that overused even to this point, and it just has everything. I also like it. And then Gene just makes sure to make the promise even more desirable by saying, by completely filtering out the cluttering detail and translating the jargon into how I can make money from it today language, that's what you get with boardroom reports. So how can you not be interested in it? Then he gives another example which acts as proof. And it dawned on me as I was reading this that this boardroom reports as a business idea, it's really, really good because it's kind of like the Pareto principle. So it's like the 80-20 rule. You get basically the most important things, handpicked for you, which will be responsible for 80% of your success. So again, why wouldn't you optimize your life with it? If, the proposition was user-friendly. So if the whole offer made sense. But we're going to get to the offer shortly. So we have more powerful copy here. Then we have another type of thing that kind of validates their pre-existing beliefs. So after reading this paragraph, people will feel like, those insider bastards, I knew they were up to something. Because this is just the mini story of, how some company executives, they knew about something bad is coming, but they didn't report it, only in specialized publications, but who reads those, right? But now, with boardroom reports, you can have, it says it's an InstaWire publication. And if it existed back then these poor people wouldn't have, got screwed. So it's really powerful, once again. Then Gene goes on to dimensionalize the things once again. And this all just causes people to feel like, yes, this all makes sense now. But then after saying these stories, he always comes back to you, because you is one of the most powerful words in advertising. You, it's all about you, because people care about themselves. Sure, they're interested about stories and case studies, but only if it's relevant to them. And then Gene goes on to translate all these case studies into what this actually means for you. And then we get a bonus, a desirable bonus. So he says, plus valuable bonus extras in each issue, an opportunity to pick the brains of America's top business consultants. And then there's another type of proof plus credibility element that kind of highlights how, on top of all this, you also get, insights from the best of the best from companies like McKinsey and Hudson Institute and Boston Consulting Group and all these very expensive consulting firms. So it just makes the offer even better. So it's just stacking up value and benefits and benefits and benefits. But notice how he's not describing how many pages there are. I mean, actually, a few times he says that it's 16 pages, but it's it's a value in itself because it's condensed. But he doesn't go on to say all the features of the product. It doesn't even say many benefits. It just says the benefits of the benefits, what you really gain from this. This part almost has trivia value that I like. And then as we go on, The unique selling proposition of the product is mentioned a few times, along with price anchoring. So I like this paragraph. For example, it says what it is really is a whole new business communication system. So it's not a book, it's not a newsletter, it's a new business communication system. If it were electronic, we'd have to charge you $1,000 a year for it. But because it's on paper, we can give it to you for less than 1/20th of the price. So this is an early example of a huge price anchoring. And he did all this 50 years ago. Think about it. Now we're learning about copywriting, and everybody's trying to be a guru and trying to like teach you how to become like an 8-figure copywriter in a week or something. But Eugene Schwartz just did it way better than 99% of people nowadays 50 years ago. And he had no access to all these courses and masterminds and everything. So it's just unbelievable if you ask me. It really shows that he was a titan, a real titan of direct response. And, it's worth it to give tribute to all these legends because they've put a lot of these things on the table. And without them, this whole field wouldn't exist. So I think it's worth it to pay respects to him, and maybe this video is my respect to Eugene Schwartz. Also more conceptualization, like this whole thing is just 16 pages that you can hold on in the palm of your hand or even carry conveniently along in your pocket. Or you can maybe even read it on the toilet. So it doesn't take much time, but you'll get a lot from it. This is just wow. This paragraph, it has price anchor and something that blows away the competition. I'm just gonna read it to you because it's just that good. So, and you can use this type of mini offer structure for your offers as well. So it says the regular price of boardroom reports is $49 a year. So even at this price, it makes sense. It's not that much actually, even though that was more money in that time. So it's probably like 10 times more. This is less than the subscription rate of most insider newsletters. And then I love this part in the parentheses. The most important of which are super condensed for you in boardroom reports too. Your special introductory trial rate only $29.95. So it's like, not only is this like super affordable and way better already than other specialized reports, but in boardroom you get even the best of those specialized reports, so you don't even have to pay for those. So it's such a good, in just a few lines, just Eugene just blew away the entire competition. That's it, game over for them. Like, how can someone not choose this boardroom reports? It's an irresistible offer because you can get it for free. So you get all this insider info, you get all this condensed to you for free. That's it. And at this point, like, how can this be? And he explains how the offer works. This is what we call a soft offer. So it basically does everything it can to reduce friction and reduce the perception of risk in people. Okay, so you are invited. So it's angled. The whole offer is angled in a way that you are invited. We don't want to sell you anything. You are invited. You can become a privileged subscriber. And then even if your subscription is tax deductible, and even if you don't like the whole thing, you can just mark your bill as cancel and that's it. You don't even have to pay for it. So we ship you the report, we give you bonuses, we give you preferential treatment for free, and you only have to pay for it if you like the first issue. That's it. So it's an irresistible offer. That's it. You can't really get better than this, to be honest. And then at the end, we have a little scarcity plus urgency as well, because at this point, still some people are thinking, okay, so if this is such a good offer, yeah, maybe I'll just wait for it because why not? But no. Gene says, one caveat. Our press room is understandably limited. To avoid disappointment, we suggest that you mail the enclosed card as your earliest opportunity. Now wouldn't be too soon. So it's kind of like a scarcity plus urgency element. That makes sense. This is important. It makes sense. It's not something that seems, I don't know, illogical. It makes sense. And it makes people feel like, oh yeah, so if I want to get all this for free, I better act now. And then we have like a PS, which is yet another bonus to this whole thing, making it even more irresistible, knocking the last few people off the fence as well, because you know, if they buy, I mean, if they become subscribers, you know, they're gonna get another book as well, which is super valuable for free, and they can keep it even if they cancel. So they get to keep all the bonuses even if they cancel. So I don't know, guys, maybe I'm just having a nerdgasm here, but in just 4 pages, Eugene Schwartz managed to do something that some of the best copywriters today can't even do in even more. So this is just a shining example of one of the best ads I've ever handwritten or even read. Is that good, and it's no wonder Eugene Schwartz is one of the founders of modern day direct response copywriting. So if you enjoyed this video, I really encourage you to leave a like below, to like it, and to leave a comment below with your #1 outcome. I'm just extremely curious, like, am I the only one who this whole ad just made me feel like, I don't know, a fangirl of Eugene Schwartz, or were you also like super persuaded by this? I'm really curious, so leave a comment below. And also, if you know people who are big fans of Eugene Schwartz or these types of videos, then it wouldn't hurt to share the video, because the more people it reaches, the more people will be able to discover how good marketing and good direct response copywriting actually looks like. So thank you so much for being with me on this journey. I really appreciate you, and see you in the next one.